Hello everybody, I will present the research topic of positive cartoon animation to change student behaviors in online study in pandemic. By Pathoy Jungserm Sirisakal, Chulalongkorn University, and Dr. Sirapan Emulat, Sipapar Research Organization, Thailand. Introduction. The infection is rapidly spreading in all regions of the world. People are confined to their homes. All countries have set measures to reduce COVID-19 spreading, such as lockdown measures, social distancing measures, reduce integration in schools. UNESCO has estimates that more than 363 million students in worldwide have been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic by the lockdown measure and closing schools, universities, and all educational institutions over the world. Therefore, it has a huge impact on teaching and learning. Background of problem. In order for the study to continue uninterrupted, it was taken online learning system to ensure that the education continues continuously and no matter wherever the teacher or instructor and learner are in. After implementation, there were several problems with the online teaching system, such as unpreparedness in other factors, both teachers and students. No good interaction between teachers and students in online classes or long time studying. The teaching materials is non-modern, do not suitable with the age of the student. It's made them not understand the subject or difficult subject. This causes ignorance of learning, stress, and boredom in online learning. As a result, it is not possible to achieve online learning efficiency. Scope of research. Population, student in secondary schools and university 250 students with different age, sex, and education levels in Thailand. Sample group, 2 groups. Secondary school equals 128, 37.9%, and university equals 122, 36.1%. Variable. Dependent variable, cartoon animation, questionnaires, and exam test. Independent variable. The learning behavior changed as knowledge, understanding and cognitive. Good score of testing. Duration, 1/10 minute. Treatment, 4 set of cartoon animation with different content of subjects. Review literature. We had reviewed 2 literatures that are our previous researches. Those researches have been cited and referred from many countries in several languages around the world since 2009 so far, which are relevant studies as follows. The first research was the research of positive cartoon animation to change children behaviors in primary schools, which present and published at ICPE 2009, International Conference on Primary Education, Hong Kong, China. And the second research was the research of positive cartoon animation to change children behaviors in primary schools tried out research, OEAI 2010, the second of Asian International Conference on Teacher Education Research, Hong Kong, China. Of which the objective of research, to use the cartoon animation which had designed by the specific conceptual to be the tools approach to create the positive social behavior of sample group. Therefore, the objectives of those researches have been developed into the purposes of this research. Research methodology. Objective of research. The authors have the idea of modifying the cartoon animation to the subject which have difficult or boring content for more interesting learning. Through the media that children favorite as animated cartoons. By adapting the content through cartoon characters is designed to be conveyed through a tactful conveyance of knowledge directly or indirectly. To enhance teaching and learning during COVID-19 through the existing online teaching system and conducted research to evaluate the project to test the effectiveness of the efficiency of media as follows. To conduct study whether the cartoon animation are effective tools for online education. Focused on the cartoon animation, which are capable for delivering knowledge, understanding cognition, which is a learning behavior that can be changed. To study online learning tool in the COVID-19 pandemic that can change learners' learning behavior by creative and useful tools to learners by presenting difficult subject content through media that is more fun and interesting than regular content. Contribution framework. The conceptual framework of the research to analyze the change of student learning behavior. Dependent variable, cartoon animation, questionnaires, and exam test. Independent variable, knowledge, understanding and cognitive and good score of testing. The first sample of cartoon animations, it's one part of the content of soil biodiversity study for the student in both secondary school and university, which is providing the knowledge of the underground fundamental of soil and plant growing process. The soil biodiversity matter and animal. The link between underground animals and plant overground, both large and smallest size. In the family of predators or predators that role has linked within the food chain system inside the soil. The second sample of cartoon animations, it's one part of the content of waste management to environment conserving for bakery business study for the student in university in food management. Its focus on the separating bin for garbage in different kinds of waste. And the environment affected after mismanagement, both in people's context, animal, and plants in the environment include in water and air. It addresses the side effects of global warming problem by our hands and the sustainable way to live in natural together. The third sample of cartoon animations, it's one part of the content of the soil solution by organic planting such as legumes for teaching the student in both secondary school and university, which is deliver the basic knowledge of the underground, the soil layers, the kind of rock and physical soil. The soil biological destroying in many ways. The pollution of chemical usage in farming. The organic farming process and how applied them to be food advantage for life and environment. The fourth sample of cartoon animations, it's one part of the content of the soil solution, focusing on soil erosion by organic planting such as lemongrass, which is deliver the knowledge of soil destroying by nature and people. The problem of soil detachment, movement, deposition, and the sediment. The recovering by planting the strong roots plant for soil adhesion in slope area. And how they protection for wind and flood, the factor of soil erosion. And how applied them to be medicine, healthy products, healthy food for life, business, and saving the environment. Result of research. Table 1. The learning behavior changed result from questionnaires of the treatment of experimental research. One-way analysis of variance table to test hypotheses at significance level alpha equals 0.01. We can see that the significance value is 0.25, which is below 0.01. And, therefore, there is a statistically significant difference in the mean of learning behavior change as cognitive behavior between the groups is different. We can see that the significance value is 0.08, which is below 0.01. And, therefore, there is a statistically significant difference in the mean of score test between the groups is different. Table 2, the result of questionnaires from the treatment of experimental research. The descriptive table provides some very useful descriptive statistics at 95% confidence intervals for the dependent variable has significant alpha equals 0.05% or 95%, SD value, Z equals 0.59, and critical T 1.13 to T 0.28 and score test SD value, Z equals 1.78, and critical T 1.73 to T 1.84. Table 3, frequency of post-test of learning behavior characteristic and score test. The knowledge post-test good is highest equals 55% and understanding post-test 43.5% and cognitive post-test 50.3%. Also, the score of exam test good level is highest 49.4%. Discussion. We found the result of research has accepted the hypothesis levels with significance as follows. 1. The learning behavior of the students had impacted changed by treatment as cartoon animation, even though the online education. 2. Cartoon animation with applied with the content of the subject including in difficult subject, These can be delivering knowledge, understanding, and cognition, which are the learning behavior characteristic has changed into the positive way and increased the capabilities in both regular or online study. 3. The creative teaching tools as the cartoon animation, that is the favorite media for student in all ages, include the student in the university, because they were child before. It is the efficiency tools to change their learning behavior by cognitive created with fun while learning. 4. Therefore, in this COVID-19 pandemic, the teaching via cartoon animations is more useful to achieve online education instead the regular teaching in class. Those are impossible in lockdown area from pandemic crises. Conclusion. The cartoon animation can easily and understandably attract attention of learners to understand the lesson, since it is visual, the movement in the lesson is clear, rather than just text or images. It can interact with instructors through an apps with online learning platforms such as Zoom, Cloud Meetings, Google Hangouts Meet, Webinar, Microsoft Teams, Facebook Live, and Line. The significant results of the research found motivate us to believe that this positive cartoon animation can be change students' learning behaviors in online education in pandemics. It is an effective program for online learning for students, both in secondary school, university, to achieve education without the education barriers from pandemics. Thank you.